YouTube, what is going on? And as you can see, I am back. I have my computer again. It got fixed finally. The motherboard came in and it is fixed. And now I am back at my computer and I can actually make content the way I want to. But that aside, thank you for checking out this video. We are going to be breaking down all of the top games of 2023 in a series. We're going to be going through all of the big threes games, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Microsoft. We're going to be going through their big releases, going through some of the other big releases like Hogwarts Legacy, like Diablo 4, and some of these other crazy games that are releasing in 2023. I said this in my other video. For those of you who watched, 2023 is shaping up to be a 2007 type year where we just get amazing games released every other month. There's something crazy releasing. And so I wanted to start with one of the biggest games of the year, and in my opinion, maybe the game that people have. I know there's a lot of people looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom. I know there's a ton of people waiting for Spider-Man 2. But Starfield has been trending on Twitter every other month since 2018 when they announced it. And this is a game that's been in the works for, it's got to be at least 8 years now. Todd Howard and the Bethesda team, Todd Howard's specific team, the team that worked on Fallout 4, the team that worked on Skyrim, this is the team that's making Starfield. So I wanted to talk about everything we know about Starfield, some of the leaks, some of the new bits of information that we've gotten via Twitter, and just talk about what to expect from this game, maybe even when to expect it. So Starfield, as you know, is Microsoft's biggest game, maybe in their history. I know Halo, a lot of people would argue Halo, but Halo was an unknown thing. Nobody really knew about Halo until it released, and then when it released, it became big. People know about Bethesda, people know about Todd Howard, and they know about Starfield enough to say that this game is going to be a title definer, right? This is going to be a system seller. Microsoft has to get this game right. You know, the Xbox consoles have had such a rough history after the 360. It's really hard to say if the Xbox console is doing well or not until they release games like this. Once they start releasing games like this, you know, they've really had a bad year in 2022, but 2023 should be better for them. Once they start releasing games like this, that's when we'll start to gauge, okay, how many people are paying attention when they drop a game like this. So Starfield is set in space. It is a story about exploring the vastness of space and apparently exploring these crystals that sort of connect to each other at different parts of the galaxy and different parts of the universe. You join the team of Constellation, which is basically a space explorers team, and you just go out there and you uncover the mysteries of the universe, which sounds really good. And for those of you who haven't played Bethesda games, their games tend to be very, very well done in terms of the story, the lore. You know, everybody loves the Fallout series. Everybody loves the Elder Scrolls series. Even games like Doom and Prey and Dishonored. You know, those are different teams. Those are Arcane and id Software. But the point is, Bethesda, when they're publishing a game, it's usually pretty good. There's only a couple of bad Bethesda games. Fallout 76 is one of them. Where I was just not interested. And then I haven't actually played Ghostwire Tokyo, and I haven't actually played I actually did play Deathloop. I actually like Deathloop a little bit, but I wasn't a huge fan of Deathloop. It was okay. But the point is, Bethesda's games are pretty good. And so Starfield should be a really good game, especially with the team that's making it, Todd Howard's team. Now, the one thing that we know about Starfield, too, is that this is going to be a massive game. There have been playtesters that have played this game already and said that it already exceeds expectations as to how big the game is and how ambitious it is. This game is truly going to be a real big. I'm trying to put into words how massive this game is going to be. The internet trafficking for it, in terms of people looking up Starfield content and talking about Starfield, is pretty high. So it looks like Microsoft has a banger on their hands. This game also has 1,000 planets. I think it was 1,000. Now, a lot of people immediately said, "Is that procedural?" Bethesda, Todd Howard specifically said that there is more handcrafted content in this game than any other game. He also said there's more dialogue in this game than any other game they've made. He's right. There's 250,000 lines of dialogue. I think the next highest was, I think it was Fallout 4 with like 150,000. So they basically doubled it. That's a lot of dialogue, and obviously not all of it is going to be cinematic cutscenes. Like a lot of it's just NPCs, and you're talking to them, and you get some hidden stuff, or you find like a weapons case, and then you get a little message with it. But the point is, this is going to be a massive game for Microsoft, and this is going to be basically a title definer, right? Like when I say that, it's going to define the Xbox's next generation console. Now, the other thing I want to talk about when it comes to Starfield is what we've heard from the leakers. So we've been hearing all day long about a showcase for Microsoft. People were really disappointed that they skipped the Game Awards, and I can't blame them. But we've heard a lot about a showcase in January, and apparently that's coming. That is a confirmed thing. Jez Corden, who's a very, very Windows-centric, Microsoft-centric guy, he's pretty accurate with all his information. He says that we're going to find out more as in gameplay with Starfield very soon. So I'm expecting January. At the end of January, we're going to have a showcase. It's still January 8th, so I'm not expecting an announcement now. And then we also are expecting a release date. So a lot of people have speculated on the release date. Some people are saying late March, early April. That's what I think. Some people are saying June. I honestly am not sure what to make of the release date, right? Because Microsoft said that they are going to have a bunch of games released in 12 months, right, at their Summer Game Showcase. We haven't seen a lot of those games released yet. So it's kind of like, okay, well, we're 6 months in, right? Like, 6 months ago they said these are all the games that are going to release in the next 12 months. Well, we haven't seen too many of them, and the ones that we have seen are pretty small. So we haven't seen Redfall, we haven't seen Starfield, we haven't seen Forza Motorsport, we haven't seen Minecraft Legends. So you got to start putting some release dates on these games if you're going to keep that promise. And yeah, I mean, I think personally, look, so we do know for a fact Redfall is coming out in May of like the first week of May. That's Arcane's, vampire shooter. That's coming out in May. So I highly doubt May is Starfield. Like May is not happening for Starfield. Plus Tears of the Kingdom is coming out in May too, and you don't want to compete with that really. So then on top of that though, you also have June. Now, June is a tricky release date for me because, number one, you have a lot of big games coming out in June, and plus you have E3 and the Summer Games Fest, right? So, plus, I mean, I think there's a bunch of other stuff too. But the point is, June is a busy month for gaming. Usually a lot of announcements, usually a bunch of games releasing. Diablo 4 is the headliner for June. So I don't think Starfield fits in June. There's just nobody, it's hard to pay attention to Starfield when E3 is happening and Sony's back and Microsoft's back and Nintendo's back. It's just hard. It's hard to pay attention to that. So I genuinely think that April is the release date for Starfield. I think March is too quick. It's still January. They'd have to do a release date and then really ramp up the marketing. I think April is a good release date. You give us one more gameplay trailer, a bunch of advertisements, and then boom, you get it in April. I think that, and there's not a lot going on in April as well. There's not a lot happening in April. There's not a ton of game releases in April. So I do think that April fits the bill for Starfield. I know some people are saying that it might get delayed to the fall. Bethesda launched a support page for Starfield, and it reassured people that it's coming first half 2023. So and by the way, for those of you who don't know, if a support page goes live for a game, pre-orders usually follow at some point or another. So I'm expecting a showcase announcement some point, maybe this week, who knows. But Starfield, yeah, like you can see here, this game has a lot of depth to it, a lot of customization to it. I showed you here on this tweet. This is the dialogue. Fallout 4 had 111K lines of dialogue. This has 250 plus K. That's insane. That is a lot of dialogue. And you can see right here, let me just roll this back a little bit. You can see right here how deep they went into this game. It's not just obviously making the type of character that you want, but it's also perks. You have different abilities, right? So right here, Cyber Runner, Beast Hunter, right? From Neon to New Atlantis, the Megacorp stand as a monumentous power, prestige and profit. You worked for both, for and against them, on the inside and on the outside, often sacrificing conscience for credits, right? And you can see you get pistols do 10% more damage. Security, you can attempt to hack advanced locks. You can gain increased chance of success challenges. This is really deep. This is a lot of different like cybernetics. Like there is a lot of different aspects to this game that I don't think we've seen in even Bethesda games, right? Like just that perk system, just choosing from a list like that. Usually you can choose from different characters, different backgrounds, but this is deeper than that. And I'm really excited for it. And I think Starfield has the opportunity to really become a big time franchise, not just because we look at Bethesda's games. There's never just a real single game. It's usually they come up with an IP and then they do a bunch of sequels. And so Starfield is the first new IP in like 25 years for Bethesda. So this could end up being a franchise for them. Of course, Bethesda makes games at a very painfully slow rate. At least their main Bethesda team. So that kind of sucks. It might be a while before we see Starfield 2, but still, the point is this has the chance to become a real franchise for Microsoft and especially for Bethesda. And you can see this is the ship designing. I mean, this is really incredible. You can create your own outposts on different worlds, mine for materials. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of empty planets, but the best part about a Bethesda game, some people were complaining, what about the empty planets and stuff? Listen, there's probably bound to be some, but Bethesda's a game that can be modded, like even on console. So you kind of can build your own planet, and that's pretty cool. Like you can especially I'm on PC, Steam, there's going to be a bunch of mods, I'm sure. I can't wait to see what they actually do with this game modding wise. That's always been a key aspect for Bethesda's games. But yeah, so far we don't know when this game is going to come out. We speculated on the release date. I have no idea if it's going to be in April or anything like that, but I do know this game is definitely coming out first half 2023. I'll actually show you guys the website too here. This is the support page right here. So this is what people were talking about. This went live like a couple days ago. And then if you go and scroll on this website, you can see account, privacy data, all that stuff. I think it's in-game support here. Where can I find it? No, it's not here. Right here. Related articles. When can I find the release date for Starfield? Right. What is Starfield's release date? Exclusively in the first half of 2023. So this game is definitely still launching before June or at June. And I'm starting to think it's going to launch much earlier in April. But, we'll see. And again, this support page, usually pre-orders follow. Microsoft definitely has to have a showcase because we need to get some release dates on these games, like Minecraft Legends, for example, which I'm super excited for. But yeah, I mean, this is Starfield. And, let me know if you're excited for Starfield. I know a lot of people don't really know what to expect, even with the gameplay that we saw. But still, those of you who enjoy Bethesda's games, I'm sure are excited because, they usually do a really good job. And so we will see if this game lives up to the heist. Look at this. This is also interesting, too, just to kind of end the video off. So I was talking about the trafficking for this game, right? Online chatter, how many people are talking about this game. Starfield is the most anticipated game, according to the Game Awards, and the fan vote. People have voted for Starfield. I actually didn't even realize this as I watched the Game Awards. People voted for Starfield as the game that they're most looking forward to. And that is in a year that has Sony's Spider-Man 2 and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom and Hogwarts Legacy and, a bunch of other Diablo 4. And there's a ton of games coming out in 2023. And people voted Starfield. So, it's pretty amazing how well Bethesda, it has crafted this game's hype. I think that it's done really well in terms of just, the marketing could be a little better, but they've done dropping, they had a little dev sit down where they talked about the quest lines. Dropping a little bit of information here and there seems to really be working. This is, as of November 19th. So, I don't know what it is today, but the Steam wish list. This is the third most wishlist game. Of course, Hogwarts Legacy is going to be number one. I'm honestly excited for Hogwarts Legacy. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, like I said. But yeah, Starfield's number 3. That's pretty insane. And obviously, this list obviously cannot include Spider-Man and Tears of the Kingdom. Those are exclusive to Nintendo and Sony, respectively. But still, there's a lot of other games on there too. So that's something. But basically, just to wrap up the video, Starfield is coming. There's, a showcase presumably coming, right? We think there's a showcase coming. We are for certain that there's release dates coming for these games because they have to release. And yeah, we'll stay tuned and see what Microsoft has planned. Like I said, this is a huge opportunity for Microsoft. They need to get this right. They've had such a lackluster year in 2022, and even 2021 when they released Forza and Halo. Both of those games are pretty much the Microsoft playbook. We already know about Forza and Halo. It's their signature games. This is something new and refreshing. So hopefully they actually get it done and show us something pretty cool with Starfield. But anyway, that's going to do it for the video. Like I said, this is going to be a series. So this was just the start. I'm going to be doing Starfield. And then later on in this week, I think my next video is probably going to be Spider-Man 2 or Tears of the Kingdom. One of those two. I'm equally excited for both. And with Nintendo, it's interesting because, you know, their console situation, we'll see. But anyway, that's going to do it for the video. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe. Comment if you're new, and let me know what you think about Starfield. Are you getting this game day one on Game Pass, or are you passing it off?